In the heart of the forest, where tall pine trees reached toward the sky and the river whispered its endless lullaby, lived a gentle bear named Benny. Benny was not the biggest bear in the forest, nor the fastest, nor the strongest, but he was the kindest. His fur was soft and brown, his eyes were warm and round, and his paws were as gentle as falling leaves. Every evening, when the sun began to sink behind the hills, Benny would wander slowly back to his favorite spot beneath the tallest pine tree. It was there, on a bed of moss and grass, that he liked to curl up and watch the stars appear one by one. The forest at dusk was a magical place. The sky shifted from gold to pink, from pink to purple, and finally to the deep velvet of night. Fireflies blinked like tiny lanterns. Crickets began their steady song. The air grew cooler, carrying the scent of pine needles and wildflowers. Benny loved this time of day. It was the forest's bedtime, and he always felt calm and safe as the world grew quieter. But on this particular evening, something unusual happened. Benny stretched his arms wide, rubbed his sleepy eyes, and opened his mouth to yawn. Oh, and what a yawn it was! It wasn't just an ordinary yawn. It was a big, round, rolling yawn that seemed to travel farther than any yawn had ever gone before. Yawn! The sound drifted through the trees like a soft breeze. It floated over the river, across the meadow, and up into the branches of the tallest oaks. The rabbits, who were nibbling clover near their burrow, twitched their noses. One by one, their little mouths opened wide. Yawn! The frogs, sitting quietly on their lily pads, felt their eyes grow heavy. They yawned too, their throats puffing out like tiny balloons. Even the owls, who usually stayed awake all night, blinked their golden eyes and let out long, slow yawns. Benny blinked in surprise. "Oh dear," he whispered. "My yawn is making everyone sleepy." He tried to hold it in, but another yawn escaped. Yawn. This time, the deer in the meadow lowered their heads and laid down in the tall grass. The squirrels curled up in their nests. The fireflies slowed their glowing dance, blinking more softly as if they were ready for bed too. The forest was growing quieter and quieter. Then he rubbed his eyes again. "I didn't mean to make the whole forest sleepy," he said softly, "but maybe it's time for all of us to rest." So Benny began to walk slowly through the forest, his big paws patting gently on the mossy ground. Everywhere he went, his yawns followed. He passed the hedgehogs who were rolling into tiny balls of spikes. He passed the foxes who curled their bushy tails around themselves. He passed the badgers who snuggled close in their burrow. Each time Benny yawned, the animals yawned too. And each time they yawned, they grew sleepier and sleepier and sleepier. The forest was becoming a blanket of dreams. The stars above twinkled brighter, as if they were watching the forest settle down. The moon rose slowly, casting a silver glow across the trees. Benny wandered to the riverbank. The water shimmered in the moonlight, and the gentle ripples seemed to hum a lullaby. A family of ducks floated close to the shore. The ducklings nestled under their mother's wings, their tiny eyes closing as Benny's yawn drifted across the water. Yawn. The ripples slowed, the ducks sighed, the whole river seemed to hush. Benny smiled. "Good night, little ones," he whispered. He walked on, deeper into the forest. The tall trees swayed gently, their leaves whispering secrets to the night. Benny's yawn floated upward, and even the trees seemed to sigh, their branches relaxing, their roots settling deeper into the earth. The forest was not just sleepy now, it was peaceful. As Benny walked, he thought about yawns. Why do yawns travel so far? He wondered. Why do they make everyone else yawn too? He didn't know the answer, but he liked the thought that his yawns were like gifts, little bundles of sleepiness that he could share with his friends. He thought about how nice it was that the rabbits, the frogs, the owls, the deer, the squirrels, the fireflies, the ducks, and even the trees were all resting together. Maybe, Benny thought, the forest needs yawns to remind us that it's okay to rest, that it's okay to be still. He felt warm inside, like he was part of something bigger than himself. And with that thought, he felt sleepier than ever. Benny returned to his favorite spot beneath the tall pine tree. He curled up on the soft moss, tucked his paws under his chin, and looked up at the sky. The stars above sparkled with the dreams of the forest. The moon smiled down, round and gentle. The air was cool and still. Benny yawned one last time. Yawn. It was a small yawn, soft and quiet, but it was enough. The last few animals who were still awake, a hedgehog, a fox, a tiny mouse, all yawned too and drifted into sleep. The forest was silent now, except for the steady song of the crickets and the whisper of the river. Benny closed his eyes. His breathing slowed. His body grew heavy and warm. And soon, Benny the bear, with his big sleepy yawn, drifted into the sweetest dreams of all. And so the forest slept. The rabbits in their burrow, the frogs on their lily pads, the owls in their trees, the deer in the meadow, the squirrels in their nests, the fireflies in the air, the ducks on the river, the foxes in their dens, the hedgehogs in their balls, the trees with their roots deep in the earth, all of them dreaming together under the watchful stars, and Benny, the gentle bear, dreaming too. Good night, little dreamer. Sleep well.